Hello and welcome to another video. It has been a while. I'm going to see if anybody jumps on here. This is a live stream. Been a lot of changes in the last 6 months. It's been about 6 months since I've made a video. Apologies for that if you've been wanting to get updates on how things are going, but that's the point of this video. This laptop is it's a work laptop. It's not quite set up for making my videos just yet, so that's why I'm doing a live stream. And hey, someone might jump on and even ask a question. Wouldn't that be cool? But anyway, yeah, so why haven't I been making videos for the past 6 months? Because I've just not had time. It's been way too busy. So if you may recall, in past videos, I mentioned that I got a new job about a year ago, and that was with a small startup based out of America. And it was a platform for newsletter growth, helping newsletter owners monetize and grow their newsletters. And there's a very small development team, about 5 or 6 developers. And it was a young application with a lot of feature development, a lot of growth. It was maybe 3 or 4 years old when I started. I was doing very well, but they were, very hungry to continue growing and expanding the feature set, just to remain competitive and be best in the market kind of thing. And the approach that they used there was the shape-up approach. So essentially, each developer would get a full feature to build, and it would be in a timeline of about, I think it was 4 or 5, it kind of varied, but let's say it was 5 weeks. You'd build for 4 weeks, and then the last week you'd have for testing after it's been merged into production. But you own an entire feature from start to finish, and it's up to you to scope the whole thing out. And then you kind of create a proof of concept where you demonstrate that to the product owner, let's say in the technical lead, and then you go and build this thing. And needless to say, it was very fast-paced, very challenging, though on the flip side, got to learn and own a lot of cool parts of the application. Got to work with some very interesting, very smart people, and experience that sort of startup, fast-paced, live type thing. And it was challenging to keep up with the pace. To be fair, I think that when I was hired, I see I got a viewer here. If you have any questions about coding, learning to code, throw them in the chat, and I will be happy to answer it. But I'm just going through my last job that I just had. So yeah, it was very challenging, very fast-paced, and I felt like I was underqualified for the position. I was always just playing catch-up to try and stay on top of their expectations and demands. Multiple times, feeling like I was working too slow, even though I was doing overtime most days. I wasn't able to produce the amount of code that they were expecting for me to produce in that role. And at this time, I only had 2 years of experience, 1 year in Ruby on Rails, and 8 months, 9 months working in Python. So coming into it quite green, into a brand new way of working that was different from Agile, Scrum, or Kanban, or anything like that. And owning full feature sets in an application in a domain that I had no real experience in. So it was a very steep learning curve with some very challenging projects. And to be honest, it was pushing me towards burning out because of the stress. And my wife will attest to this, the amount of stress that I was under working in this role every day, just coming down to the house, because I work from home, but I have my office away from the house in a separate building, and I would come down to the house and I would just be like, oh my God, work is so hard today, so hard. I just can't believe it. I'm so stressed. And it's tough when you've got a wife and you got kids to, have work take that much out of you. And I felt like if I was to continue down that road, I'd probably end up burning out. And I was getting to the point where I wasn't liking software or coding anymore because it was so tough on me. And it's not that the company was bad or the way they was managing things were bad. Yes, things could have been better, but really the people there were supportive, and they were really hungry, and it was a cultural mismatch from what I needed from a job versus what they needed from a developer. So no hard feelings towards them, but it was a very hard reckoning for me to come around and be like, you know what, think I need to leave this company, even though I'd only been there for just under a year. I just didn't see that it was a long-term sustainable thing. But why am I telling you this? It was so busy that I just didn't have the energy, the capacity to make videos anymore because it was just so tiring. Every single day, just grinding through. You need a little bit of energy left in the tank to come online and make videos, think about what you're going to talk about, and things like that. So I just took a pause from making videos, but luckily I got a new job, and it's a way better match with my needs in terms of work-life balance and stress level. It's still technically challenging. There's great people I'm working with and good technical problems to solve, but it's just the immediacy and the volume of work that's required from me is just down enough so that it's actually comfortable. I don't feel like I'm staying, struggling to stay afloat. It's a comfortable cadence, and that's fantastic. And this company emphasizes that work-life balance and the importance of that. So I have a bit more time to, maybe make some more videos a little more regularly. So just thought I'd make this video as a quick check-in, say, hey, coming back. And if you have any questions, comments about learning development, getting your first job, what it's like working in software now that I'm almost 3 years in, which is crazy to say that it's already gone that quickly. Happy to make a video and answer your questions. So yeah, that's it. Keeping it short and sweet. I see there is another viewer on here. Hello. If you have any questions about software development, learning to code, or anything like that, chuck it in the chat right now, and then I'll be happy to answer it. But otherwise, hopefully everybody's studies are going well. It's a bit of a crazy industry out there still, but I think things may be turning around a little better. I don't know. I haven't been applying to too many jobs recently. Though when I was applying, it was tough. It was tough to get any callbacks. The job that I have now was through a referral, and there is no way I would have even gotten past the first stage or even screened in on this job if I didn't have that referral. I actually had less experience than they were asking for, but having that referral got me to the first step, and then I managed to do well enough in subsequent steps to get hired. So yeah, referrals and networking is super important at any time you want to get jobs, especially now. So yeah, I'll end it there, short and sweet. Hope everyone is having a good week. Cheers.